Welcome to the Good Stuff podcast, brought to you from By From Creative Agency. Each episode we talk to good people doing good stuff. Hi Mark.
Hi there.
And welcome to the Good Stuff podcast. We're so pleased that you could join us.
No problem, yeah, I'm pleased to be here.
So for those who don't know you, explain a little bit about yourself and about Visit Shropshire.
Yeah, so my name is Mark Hooper. I'm the project lead at Visit Shropshire, and Visit Shropshire is the destination management organisation for the Shropshire Council local authority area of the county, and our job basically is to promote Shropshire as a fantastic, outstanding destination, and to also help the businesses through business support from the tourism and hospitality sector of the county.
Fantastic. And how long have you been in that role?
We were having to think about that the other day. It will be 5 years in October, so 4 years and 6 months coming up soon. So.
Wow, and it's been an exciting time for Shropshire in terms of destination marketing, isn't it, with the ABTA news?
Yeah, certainly. So that was completely out of the blue, but it's some people say, oh, is it really surprising? But to me, it's not that surprising because I think Shropshire is an absolutely fantastic county. And we've been working really hard over the past few years to really raise that profile of Shropshire, not just as Visit Shropshire, but also the businesses within it, how much development there has been in the county over the last few years. You can see why Shropshire is regarded as one of these top 10 places to visit.
So for those that have somehow been asleep for the last 6 weeks, can you give us a bit of context of why this kind of ABTA report is so significant, what it actually means?
Yeah, so ABTA, obviously most people, whenever you book to go on holiday, you'll see that your holiday is usually ABTA bonded. It's a worldwide company that is known primarily for insurance and being that kind of governing body for the holiday industry. And so when they came out and said that we were in one of the top 10 places on their watch list for this year, it's the first time a British destination has ever been in the list. So it's hugely significant. And the amount of coverage that's come from that, and people like BBC News, Sky News, This Morning, all sorts of national tabloids have all covered the story because of how significant it is. And we've had messages from my counterparts from across the country saying just how incredible this is to be on this list.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And what do you see, have you kind of noticed in terms of kind of your own organisation, a kind of a shift in terms of the activity and people searching and trying to find out more about Shropshire? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, our website hits have gone through the roof, and that's probably to do with all the coverage that's come out. And, you know, a certain percent of those people going, oh, Shropshire, why would that be on the list? You know, who haven't been here maybe. And some people who are naturally searching for Shropshire this year to come to, or consecutive years after that. What we've also noticed is a number of our members saying how busy their bookings are coming up for this spring and summer. And that's just fantastic to hear. That won't solely be off the top 10 because we are going in an upward trajectory with our bookings and our occupancy rates. But it's fantastic to hear, and this just is something else that adds into the mix for making Shropshire extremely busy this coming year.
It's interesting, isn't it? I remember we've spoken at some tourism events in the past, and you know, for everybody who really wants to make their businesses flourish here and bring lots of people, there's a group of people that are always like, keep it a hidden gem, keep it, you know, and you're always kind of fighting that battle. Yeah. But it is a bit of a hidden gem, Shropshire, isn't it? Which is why this is so significant. People, not as many people know it as some of the other places. But what do you love about the place? Why do you love being in this privileged role that you've got?
Why do I love the place? So many reasons for that. As we were touching on before, we're dog lovers, so the great outdoors is one of the top things for us in the county. But also, you know, that independent shops, the food and drink scene, the kind of the different landscapes as well. How the south is obviously, you've got your hill walks. We're just looking over at Clear Hill now, aren't we? And you know, I've come past over Wenlock Edge this morning to get here, and you can go up into the north and you'll be on a canal walk. And you think, so it's so different, the landscape here. I just think we've got something to offer really everyone to come here as well. And if you take that, and sometimes people say, oh, is it just the great outdoors or the independent shopping? That, but actually you only have to look at like the nighttime economy for Shrewsbury, especially at the moment, it's thriving. So that's when it starts to come into something for all different types of age groups as well.
So for people who are perhaps new to the county and perhaps have seen it as a bit of a day trip place or maybe one overnight stay, do you think that there is something that people can do they could come and bring a family here for a couple of weeks and be entertained?
Yeah, certainly. And we do get some international families that do come and hire some of our halls, especially, that come over, and maybe they've got kids who are studying at our international schools in the summer holidays and things. And they'll be here for a number of weeks. I think the good thing for Shropshire as well is our locality to airports such as Manchester and Birmingham and Liverpool as well, and also to Wales. So if you were looking at exploring different parts of the country, we're quite lucky geographically as well. But things to do in the county, also what we find is we don't have a city. We're the only inland county now without a city. And what that means is that people travel around the county. So you don't primarily just go to one town and stay there and think, oh, I can't possibly go out of the city centre. People do explore. If they come to stop in Bridge North, they will head up to Ironbridge, they'll head up to Shrewsbury, head across to Ludlow. And that's what we find, is that people actually do travel around when they're here.
Oh, fantastic. And so how did you get into that destination marketing? 'Cause it's so important. We feel so passionately about here. So, what was your journey to get to this point?
Yeah, well, my parents are a coach operator, so I've kind of been brought up in the industry from the other side of things, not necessarily coming to Shropshire, but taking people out of Shropshire, actually, in that case, to different places, obviously. And I was lucky enough to stumble across a job at the Sabrina boat in Shrewsbury, which would have been just over 10 years ago now. And it was an office manager position at the tourism attraction, and I grasped it with both hands. And I worked at Sabrina for just shy of 6 years as the office manager there. And it was a fantastic experience to kind of dive into not just the tourism sector and tourism businesses, but an opportunity to grow a business and grow with the destination at the same time. So it was really great to see Shrewsbury grow. And what we then needed, and the reason why I eventually moved on to Visit Shropshire, was the idea that actually for the town to grow and for the attraction to grow, the county needed to grow, especially its visitor economy. And when Visit Shropshire was being created, that's why I thought this is a really good opportunity to make that happen.
We were speaking earlier about the fact that your launch of Visit Shropshire coincided with a fairly major global situation here. What were the benefits of that? We were speaking a bit about the pros and cons of that, and obviously to launch a whole new organisation was it the same day as?
Exactly the same day we went to national lockdown. Exactly the same day.
So once you got over the terror and the fear of that realisation, what kind of support were you able to kind of mobilise? How did you reposition the organisation?
As you touched on, we did actually launch on the same day we went to national lockdown. We were building a website long before that, but the big fanfare was all going to be on, I think it was 22nd of March or around there, 2020. And so overnight we quickly realised we were not going to be promoting a destination when we were all being told to stay at home. So what we did was we quickly became a business support mechanism for the tourism and hospitality businesses. Obviously there was a lot of panic around them, what's going to happen, including from ourselves actually. Although I do remember saying, what are we going to do for 3 weeks? Little did we realise quite how big that was going to go. But what it did mean that as we launched, and we obviously couldn't charge membership because businesses were just being told that they can't make any money essentially. What we did was we completely changed and became this business support and launched a free membership. But what that did at the same time is it built a trust, and it built a trust in Visit Shropshire and us personally, because otherwise, who were we? We were just a new entity that were a membership organisation with no track record of what we were going to do or how we were going to even spend any marketing money or do anything really. So to launch as a free membership and kind of build that trust with hundreds of businesses was a really good opportunity for us to actually kind of find our feet, meet people and understand a little bit more about the businesses within the county really.
That's great. So I suppose by the time we were able to come out, you've really built quite strong and powerful relationships with business who really needed all the help that they could get at that time, haven't you?
Yeah.
And since then it's grown and grown and grown?
Yeah, just hasn't stopped growing really.
Yes.
But I think we're growing because the visitor economy is growing. The more that we grow, the visitor economy develops. We get new businesses that join us every single week. And sometimes there are people who are just delving for the first time into maybe a self-catering property, and other times it'll be sometimes large-scale attractions over the past few years that have gone, oh, actually, we should be part of this. We're a national brand, but we need to be part of something locally because we can see that what you're doing in Shropshire.
That's brilliant. We touched on it initially, and I'd love to explore about it a bit more just because I've got some background in film and TV production as well. So you also run independently from Visit Shropshire, but very much supporting Visit Shropshire, Film Shropshire.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Right, tell us a little bit about that because I think this is really exciting.
Yeah, so Film Shropshire came about off the back of basically location managers getting in touch to say, we'd like to film in Shropshire. How do we do it? And there was no film office for Shropshire. In fact, across the country, there's various different places that don't have film offices. The majority of places don't. But if you have a film office, it's all about making life easy for that location manager. So we toed and froed with starting it as part of Visit Shropshire, but it would be a big challenge. So Film Shropshire falls out in a different hat of mine, as separate from our Visit Shropshire work. But it does complement because the byproduct of film and TV is film tourism. So actually, whatever we can film here, people watch it on TV. You know, last year we had Hunted, we had Great Expectations, we had The Apprentice that all aired. And people then came to Shrewsbury, Shropshire off the back of that. And so it's kind of a big circle, but the two circles collide.
Absolutely. When you bring a film crew here, they are eating locally, they are staying locally, you know, so actually everything supports the local economy, doesn't it? And it's part of the big picture.
Last year we had The Apprentice and Great Expectations on the same week. So we had The Apprentice were filming in Shrewsbury and Ironbridge on the Monday and Tuesday, and they had a crew of 200. So they all stopped here and ate over that 2-day period. And then we had Great Expectations arrive on the Tuesday evening until the Friday. And they also brought about 250 crew with them. Wow. And then on the Saturday I got married.
So the most stressful week ever.
It was a very, very busy week, that was. Yeah.
Oh my goodness me, when you realise the timing of it, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, that's it. But I just had to keep rolling with it. We didn't want to say no to any dates.
You forget, if you don't know that industry, you forget just what huge machines they are, aren't they? And actually to bring 200 people here to eat, drink and work, even just for a short amount of time, is massive.
It's a huge amount of work to bring here, you know, but working with like Shropshire Council's Highways team, they're fantastic because the amount of paperwork just to close a street is 6 weeks in advance. So you can't just go, do you want to do it next week? It's all, you know, set in stone weeks in advance. So actually on the day we did Great Expectations, would have been the Thursday, we were filming on St John's Hill, and it was chucking it down. It was probably the heaviest rain I've seen in years. That scene was not meant to rain, and we did think, can we swap? And it's categorically no, it's set, so it's filming that day, and then the day after we filmed at Council House Courtyard, where it was meant to rain, and it was a really sunny evening, so we had to bring in rain machines. So it just shows you how things can change.
The roller coaster.
That's just life, isn't it?
Yeah. Circling back to I think dogs again, and going on dog walks and the kind of things, the places that you have discovered as a part of your job that you may never knew were here. Could you share with us some hidden gems, either those that you discovered while taking your dogs out, or those you discovered through Film Shropshire, that you like, oh, why did I not know this place existed before?
Yeah, I've got to be careful here. I might to give these ones away, or I might not get a parking space next week. Yeah. One of our favourite places to go is actually Batch Valley in Church Stretton. So it's actually an adjacent valley to Cardy Mill. Cardy Mill Valley is obviously beautiful valley, but Batch Valley is a little place just a bit further up near Old Stretton, and it's great. It's great for walks, and it's fantastic, easy for us to get to. We just live north of Shrewsbury. And other places that we're really, one of our firm favourites is up on the in North Shropshire on the canals, especially as one of ours is a 14-year-old Chocolate Lab who bobs along at a speed of 0.2 mile an hour. So hills are maybe a little bit of a thing of the past. So yeah, canal walks are fantastic as well. I didn't quite realise how many there were, I don't think, before I worked at Visit Shropshire.
I think the canal network is something that is very much a hidden gem of Shropshire, isn't it? I think when people see Shropshire, they think predominantly the landscape of the hills and the way that those different formations kind of manifest throughout the county, but actually the canal network is really beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and going all the way up, I mean, outside the county up to Llangollen as well, it extends, a huge amount of miles. And, going back in history was a really important part of our history, actually, especially when we've been doing work, with flax mill altings over the past few years. And actually learning of the old canal bed there that went all the way to the Buttermarket nightclub, and you can actually see how that all ended up. So although that canal isn't obviously all there at the moment, but it's an important part of our history.
Yeah.
So and if you want a flat walk, there's definitely no hills on the canal. So yeah.
No, that's great. I don't think we've explored it enough. I think just a few times. It's definitely, you've really reminded me that it's somewhere I need to get back to. And I think my daughter would definitely prefer a flat walk rather than me trying to drag her up the Wrekin.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely.
So I think it'd be good to kind of use this opportunity where we're having this conversation to maybe talk about some of the events that we're doing together. So we're going to put on some workshops, aren't we? Do you want to talk a little bit about that, so that we can kind of hopefully get more people on board if they are interested?
Yeah, definitely. So we're hosting 4 workshops in partnership with Bifrom, over 2 in February and 2 in March, and they are all about destination marketing and how businesses can maximise on Shropshire being named in this top 10 destinations. It's all very well getting announced for these things, but actually what does it mean other than a really nice news title that changes the day after? What is the long-term impact of that? How can you capitalise on it? And what can you do as an individual business to as I said, to capitalise on it really, and make sure that you actually really build on the fact that Shropshire is in these top 10 destinations. So we're holding 4 events, one of which unfortunately sold out at Shrewsbury Flax Mill Maltings already, but the other 3 are all still available, which are at Whittington Castle, Ludlow Castle and Love to Stay in Shrewsbury. Now you're going to ask me the dates. I know the Love to Stay one is the 12th of March.
I should definitely remember them as well.
But the other 2, but if you are looking to book onto them, please get in touch with Visit Shropshire. If you're already in touch with us, you will get that through our emails that have gone out this week, so check your inboxes. But otherwise, just pick up the phone or email us and we can send through the links to book on. But we will be promoting it via our LinkedIn accounts and partners such as the other tourism groups and business improvement districts in the next few weeks.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's a totally free workshop, isn't it? And it's absolutely designed to just empower businesses to take this fantastic opportunity and make it really work for their business. And I think that sits very much within what your remit is as part of Visit Shropshire again, isn't it? Which is about kind of providing the framework and network for those businesses to really flourish here.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And it's important to say that those workshops, you don't have to be a Visit Shropshire member. You can come as an individual business to those. They're funded through the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, which is something we've been successful with through Shropshire Council, I should add. And that enables us really to do things like the workshops and really, mean that we can provide that business support mechanism to the businesses that way.
Fantastic. So if people haven't kind of taken a look at your socials or your website, or if they are outside of the county and thinking of coming in, could you do a bit of a shout out to how they kind of link up to all of the brilliant work that you guys do?
Yeah, definitely. So Visit Shropshire, we are a membership organisation. So we have 2 membership levels that businesses can join us on. And as part of that, you get your listing on the Visit Shropshire website. And the website gets over 30,000 users a month. So it's a really high traffic site for the county now. You can also promote via our various channels. We do lots of regional and national PR opportunities. Just before I came in here, actually, our PR guys said the Daily Mail have been on the phone, so that'll be another opportunity. We also have got social media accounts that have got over 75,000 followers now, and you can take part in all this. And then we also do various things such as the workshops, such as events, even places like Birmingham NEC. We've got the British Tourism and Travel Show. And we do various campaigns throughout the year. So we've got a campaign at the moment operating in partnership with Transport for Wales, and various different opportunities will come through them throughout the year. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good network to be part of. Our job is to support businesses in the tourism and hospitality sector to grow. because the more that they grow, the more the destination will grow. And that's the reason why we're keen to work with as many businesses as possible.
And get as many people as possible to this beautiful part of the world
That's
as well.
definitely.
Because we're so lucky to live here, aren't we? And
Yeah.
work here. So that's brilliant. I've so enjoyed talking to you, Mark. So thank you for giving up your time
No
to come
problem.
speak to
Thank
us.
you. Hi.